Hello and welcome everyone to the $62,500 CSI 5-star Bainbridge meter 50 speed of the 7th week here at the Winter Equestrian Festival at Wellington International. I'm your host, Danny Waldman, and I'm thrilled to be here presenting our live stream. Title sponsor for this week for the 5-star is Lugano Diamonds, but today's class sponsor is Bainbridge. We are Bainbridge. We manage, develop, and invest in apartment communities that are complete experiences where people are free to pursue better lives. From New York to Miami and beyond, we create places where residents feel equally at home and inspired. Presenting our live stream, of course, is Dodd Technologies. Dodd Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit us online at doddtechnologies.com. And today's live stream is also presented in part with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. Very exciting class today, and I am thrilled to be here. Interesting class always this Friday, meter 50 speed. Here you can take a look at the list. Aaron Ballard from Canada getting us started, then Tim Grudley. We're going to see 60 horse rider combinations, over 13 nations represented. Weather out there is absolutely gorgeous. It is sunny and warm, no breeze, absolutely perfect day of jumping. And of course, it is the 5-star here, week 7. We are more than halfway through. If you see a couple of different people jumping multiple horses this week, Jessica Springsteen has 2 out there. And of course, also a qualifier for tomorrow night's Grand Prix. We saw the WEF Challenge Cup yesterday, Ben Mayer taking the win there, but 30 qualified yesterday, and another 10 that are not already qualified. With the top 10 scores from today, we'll also qualify to round out our 40 for tomorrow night's 5-star Lugano Diamonds Grand Prix. And there you can see behind it the first one walking in, and it is going to be Aaron Ballard from Canada getting us started. Course looks actually quite interesting today. It's not a typical speed class. There's a lot of related distances, a couple of half strides kind of into some of the lines. We're going to see what people choose to do. Again, it is a speed class and people are trying to qualify, but it's also interesting because a lot of times people are taking their younger horses and stepping them up. Usually a meter 50 speed is a nice stepping stone for those kind of 9-year-old horses just moving up to this level. It can tend to be a little bit softer. I don't think it's huge out there today. I did walk the course. I took a look at it. I talked to some of the riders, but it is certainly a little tricky because it's a lot of jumping. There's a triple, there's a double, and there's just quite a lot of jumps in the ring. It is not your typical speed. Normally in speeds we see a lot of kind of long run distances, single jumps, maybe rollbacks. Here it's just related distance after related distance, so you've got to really be on it. All right, let's take a look at our first one. It's going to be Hero and Aaron Ballard. Hero owned by the Elon Ferder and Esperanza Imports LLC. All right, she's coming off the left to number 1. It is a vertical at the Bainbridge jump. Seven strides, ended up a little bit patient there. And then she goes right around this little lighthouse. It's a double here. Oxer, 1 stride vertical. Steady up in a very short 4. 7 there on the bend. She does 6 across the middle to the skinny jump at number 6. And now left-handed turn, roll back on this skinny Liverpool Oxer. She does 5 strides in, has the vertical down, into the triple. Does 9 to the Lugano Diamonds Oxer. Now it's a rollback right by the in gate to this offset Liverpool vertical. Does 8. And then stays out in 8. And then that one jump that you can't quite see up along the VIP is a plank. She finishes up 4-fault 63.71 for Aaron Ballard and Hero. So that gets us started. 63.71. Our time allowed is 69 seconds. So we'll keep an eye on that. She was well within that time, but she looked like she was trying to move And again, that time allowed, not going to be such a big deal as it is a speed class and people trying to go for the win. But we saw her do sort of the numbers I thought. We'll have a question if from 3A, B to 4, if anyone does 3, that 4 stride is so chokingly tight. I walked it and thought, is it 3.5? Is it 4? So let's see what people do. All right, Tim Gredley and Imperial HBF in now the Rachel Gredley, William Gredley, and Unex competition yard entry. So he also does the very, very short 4. Six strides to the skinny. That's working out a little bit patient. Now this left-handed turn, it's set well past the turn. It's a bit of an awkward rollback. Skinny oxer. Jump beautifully over that though. Nice and steady. A little bit push out there. I think he did the 8, so he did one less, just kept moving there. And then the rollback. Stays out in the 8. Steadies up right at the end for 8 as well. So he will get us started 67.84 on the clear for Tim Gredley. So that'll be our first clear. And we're going to see, again, 69 is that time allowed. We're going to see if anyone can come catch him. All right, next up is going to be Mexico's Carlos Hank Guerrero. Carlos is sitting on H5 Sport Horses LLC, H5 Chaco-san. He had a wonderful week on this horse last week. And it is a 13-year-old gelding by Chaco Blue. So again, looking like that first line, definitely going to be 7. Little stretch there. You could see touched B, touched A, and then B came down. And then looking like maybe he is going to call it a day after that. Let's see. Yep. Raising that hand. So he will retire within the round. And again, we have the one clear with Tim Gredley. And let's see if... So no score there for Carlos Guerrero. But Tim Gredley, clear 67.84 is that time to beat. All right, we're going to move on to USA's Jessica Lido. Jessica Lido is sitting on her own entry, Simbura. Simbura's 13-year-old gelding by Calito with the Icon de Fontaine's mother. And let's see what she chooses to do. Again, we are seeing that very short 4 after 3B, but I'm curious if anyone does 3. So, nice 7 there. And again, remember, people also who are not qualified from yesterday's WEF Challenge Cup, trying to maybe qualify today. Steadies up for the very short 4. A little bit of a rub there, but that one stays up. Stays on it there to the Southern Arches Oxer. Picks up the pace a little bit here, then gives herself a good shot to jump this line. She can steady up in the 5. Again, triple is not too big, but a little bit hard off of that short turn. Add some leg there to get across. She's looking good so far. She just has that one down. Now having that Liverpool as well. And there is the 7 to the last, but she does hook it behind. I did walk that and think, I wonder if there's a 7. And then I was talking to a couple riders, and they thought, no, definitely out in the 8. But it's amazing how strides get really big out here. So Jessica will finish up with a time of 65.41, but with the 4 down for 16 faults. All right, now we're going to move on to Mr. McLean Ward, and he is sitting on the Robin Parsky entry, First Lady. 11-year-old mare by Don DiGarardo with the Lordanos mother. McLean is currently ranked 8th in the world. He was pre-qualified already for our Grand Prix. So I believe he's going to try to be speedy today, and he is. This horse has a great expression. Really steadies up for the 4. Keeps adding leg there. Good ride there. A little bit hard to see through the camera view of the skinny, but it looked like he rode that really well. Has to move up a little bit so he can steady up coming into the 5. Again, you want to move up early so that you can be steadying at that vertical coming in. Stays on the inside track to the Lugano. Neat back here. McLean doing such a good job to just add the leg, tell the horse where to go. And he does have that plank down, unfortunately. Clears the last, but having the plank down, 58.51, very, very fast time. But with that penultimate fence coming down, that will be 4 faults for McLean and First Lady. All right, so just the 1 clear at the moment. Funny enough, this class actually, I've watched the last couple of weeks here at WEF, and it's been an interesting class. We haven't seen tremendous amount of clears because it is a difficult enough class. It is meter 50. It used to be 145. It's now all season this year a 150, which makes it a little bit more challenging, and it is also the qualifier for the Grand Prix. So rightfully so, it is a bit of a challenging class. All right, now we're going to look at Legalang Sandro and Gabriel de Matos Machado. 10-year-old gelding by Sandro Boy. Really short there in the 4. You can see that's one of the shortest 4-stride lines I've walked in a long time. When I walked it, really thought, I think people will do 3. I'm surprised to see so many people do 4. However, with the vertical, it's 2 verticals, right? The vertical coming out of the double and then a vertical out of the line. So it's hard to encourage them to really move up because you can get such a flat jump from that. This looking really good so far. Steadies up there for that little right to left angle. Gets over that plank, moves up at the last minute to the last, big scopy jump, 63.35, and that will be our new leader, 63.35. So that's going to be our new leader at the moment. Well done. He did the 7 down the last. And again, that's looking like what the, for sure, current winner is, and we'll see if anyone can catch him. So 2 clear at the moment. And we're going to move on to Egypt's Nile Nasser. There we go. 33-year-old rider, ranked 37th in the world. Nile is sitting on the Evergate Stables LLC entry. Essie Ali. It's a 9-year-old gelding by Staccato Gold. So again, a lot of 9-year-olds in this class, people just bringing them up to a higher level. I actually have not watched this horse jump yet, but I'm a fan of Staccato Gold, so I'm curious to see him jump. Big gallop. You can see real push off the floor from this horse. Take a look at when he takes off the ground. He really, that last stride is kind of the shortest, most powerful. Good job there, really steadying it up. You could see the horse kind of bounce a little bit off the ground to help steady. Beautiful jump, opens up great behind there. Really great jumper, this. You can see that last stride on takeoff for the horse is his most powerful. He compresses the energy, really grabs the ground, kind of. You have that feeling that he's really popping off the ground. It's a wonderful thing in a horse. It's kind of what we look for when you're buying younger horses to bring up to the higher level. It's a lot of the top Grand Prix horses jump like that. Niall having a nice, easy round. Beautiful in the clear. 64.98 is that time. Going into second place at the moment. Didn't look like he was really trying to go for the win, but kept it nice and tidy. Exactly what you want to do for a 9-year-old developing up at this level. He jumped that easily. That looks like it's going to be a nice one for Niall String. Exciting to see a good jumper coming on up. All right, and now we're going to take a look at a Briand Goutal, Marteau, and Bianca. This was our winner from the meter 50 Classic last Sunday. She was the only clear round of that class out on the field. It was a very difficult class, and she was the only one who managed to do it fault-free. It was a beautiful round. Let's see if she can do it again today. 10-year-old mare by Red Star with the Clarimo mother, owned by Briand Goutal LLC. You can see Briand has such a natural, beautiful style, just hunting to the jumps. And then probably the best body control of any rider in the world. And I stand behind that statement. I think her body control is beyond exceptional. Look at that. Steadies up there in the chokingly tight 4. Beautiful jump here. Makes the turn, keeps coming through there, gives the horse a little bit extra leg just to help. And there, have an A and B of the triple. We've seen A come down a couple of times already. Definitely one of the trickier jumps on the course. Again, it's off a short turn from that Liverpool Oxer. Got to move up in the 5 so that you can be steadying, and the horse is just a little bit off balance from a little bit of the flat distance. Not an easy triple to jump. Clears the plank. Little bit of leg at the last. Beautiful. Jerk those little knees up. She'll finish up 65-69. 2 down for 8 faults for Briand Goutal, Marteau, and Bianca. All right. So sitting on the 3 clear at the moment. Leading time 63.35. And now we're going to move on to Daisy Farish. American rider, 23 years old. Riding Verona 13. 11-year-old mare by Cielito Lindo, owned by the AS Trading. Daisy's been riding really well. She had a beautiful clear round in our WEF Challenge Cup yesterday. This horse, very different style than her horse that she jumped in the WEF. This one a little bit more, a little smaller, a little bit more compact, a little bit more blood, more adjustable. Oh, really good athletic move there by the horse. It was really deep. And you can see her just giving the horse a little extra encouragement. Keeping the leg on. Gets to the base of that. A little bit of a rub behind. Just coming in a little bit strong here, but gets through the triple. There you can see she just got a little bit deep, a little bit to the base, lost a little bit of energy as she took off. Horse just didn't have enough power to get across the back pole. It was just a little bit kind of dead on takeoff. She goes straight, stays out here to the plank. And then moves up a little in the 8 so she can steady up at the end. She will finish up with the 2 down, time 65.49 for Daisy Farish and Verona 13. So again, just a couple of 3 clear at the moment. And our leading time, 63.35. So that's what everybody's chasing. And let's see if our next entry a horse that I've been watching and I really, really like. I have a great feeling about this horse. Of course, it's Cian O'Connor and Lexington. Cian ranked 71st in the world. So moving on up in those world rankings. He was 100th at the beginning of the season. Now he is 71st on the new list from February. And this horse, owned by Susan Magner. This horse has really been jumping beautifully. I saw it do kind of the warm-up class the other day. Jumped a gorgeous round. Really steadies up here. Super athletic animal. Bit of an active gallop. You can see it's kind of a little bit all over the place with its gallop, but it's so athletic at the jump. Really reminds me of Chaco Kid from Eric Lamaze. Oh, beautiful jump there. Just maybe gets a little bit close there at the vertical at A coming in. Again, horse just 10 years old, bringing it up to this level. It's been jumping really, really wonderfully. Just a light fault coming in there at the triple. One left to go. And he was a little bit far off maybe at the last. Just comes down a little bit early. So 2 down, 8 fault, 67-29 for Cian O'Connor and Lexington. All right. So it's looking like it is causing, the course is causing enough faults in different places. Certainly down near the end, we see with the delicate plank, the last jumps come down a couple of times. Looks like it starts out well, and then triple, of course, causing trouble, as it usually does. Today's course, of course, set by Anthony D'Ambrosio. And I think he's got a little help from Andy Christensen as well. All right, we're taking a look at Andrew Bournes of Ireland and Copy Champ, Bellwin Farm LLC, and TLM Sport Horses Incorporated entry. 10-year-old gelding by copyright with the Chamberton 3 mother. Really opens up beautifully behind this horse. You can see really takes the extra effort to kind of kick out behind. Beautiful jump there. There he came in really balanced. A little bit of a rub at the back pole of B, but that one stays up. It was just a light rub. But he really rode into that triple beautifully. And there as well, really got to the base. The horse really jumped around the Lugano Diamonds oxer well. One left to go on the clear at the moment. Not going to be a leader, but clear round 67 flat for Andrew Bournes and Copy Champ. Going into third at the moment. So beautifully solid round. And again, Andrew was clear and already qualified for our Grand Prix if he elects to jump. But that was a beautiful round there for the 10-year-old Copy Champ. All right, we're going to move on to Australia's Hilary Scott. It's the Sharon Fitzpatrick entry, Keatingstown Scorepulse Joker. It's a complicated name, but 11-year-old gelding by Canthargos with the Chaco Blue mother. Really nice. You can see the horse lands a little bit low. She's doing a good job, kind of keep the balance. Has a great expression, this horse. You can see the ears forward, really jumps around the jumps. She did that 4 beautifully. She didn't even make it look that tight. That was lovely. Really to the base there at the southern arches, but it jumps up. And there really gets also to the base at number 6. Just looks like the horse can get a tiny bit strong with her. Seems to really like that deeper distance. And there she just was a little bit deep. It has the back pole. Looks like it just got a little bit scared, a little bit careful. She tried to move up in the 5. You could see she landed real shallow because she had that back pull down at the Liverpool, the skinny oxer. And she landed, had the right reaction. I got to move up. I can't keep going slower and slower as the horse was jumping higher and higher and more careful. So she tried to move up, but just didn't quite get there. And then the horse said, whoa, we're going fast, a little out of balance, a little bit, you know, conservative from having that fault down. So she'll attempt it again. Stretch there, gets through the triple nicely. And here, just looks like they're just having a little communication issues as far as where she wants to steady up. He kind of wants to drag her in a little bit, and then he's getting careful and jumping a little bit high. But good for Hillary to keep fighting and absolutely keep going. Want the horse to have a positive experience. That last jump will certainly help. Lands a little buck, but she will pick up 12 jumping, 10 on the clock, times 78.11 for Hillary Scott in Keatingstown Scorepulse Joker. So again, just developing horses, and they can get a little bit green. All right, now we're going to take a look at USA's Spencer Smith, 27-year-old rider, and he's sitting on Keeneland. 11-year-old gelding by Carmina Z, owned by the Ashland Farms. I was talking to Spencer, and we'll see how today goes, but he was thinking he had a wonderful round on his longtime partner yesterday, Theodore Mancier. And he had just one time fault, so he is qualified for our Grand Prix. But I think he said he was maybe, depending on how today goes, going to try to attempt the Grand Prix on Keeneland. But he knocked on some wood, so let's see. Let's see how this round goes. This horse has been jumping really well for Spencer. And I like this horse. Has a really sporty look to it. Nice and simple. Again, we're going to see a couple of riders ride who are qualified for the Grand Prix already, riding their Grand Prix horses that they didn't ride in the Challenge Cup yesterday for qualifying, but that they are riding today to set up for tomorrow night's 5-star Grand Prix under the lights. So the rule is, as long as you jump one class and you complete the round of the week that you want to jump before the Grand Prix, then you are eligible on that horse, because the qualifying is the rider and not the horse. So has the skinny oxer as well as A of the triple. I don't think Spencer will be too bothered by that. Again, just trying to give a nice, confident round. Puts the leg on there. You can see the horse was just a little bit distracted around the corner and didn't want him to drop behind his leg, so he kind of puts his leg on, just gets the horse following again. Clears the last. We'll pick up a few down. 12 faults, 1 on the clock, 69.69. Again, that time allowed is 69 seconds, so just over that time, picking up 13 total for Spencer Smith and Keeneland. Okie dokie. So, our leader at the moment, still Legoland Sandro and Gabriel de Matos Machado from Brazil. 63.35 is that time to beat. And let's see if Italy's Pier Giorgio Bucci and Emerald's Dream can contest that time. Iron Horse Farm entry of the 11-year-old gelding by Emerald with the Nabob to Rev Mother. PG also had a beautiful round yesterday in our Challenge Cup. Nice strong ride there. And then you could see him really use his upper body coming out. So he had to add a lot of leg at 3A. And then he jumped B and really sat up early so that he could steady for that 4 stride. That was well executed by PG. Nice jump there. Big over that oxer. Moves up so he can steady a little bit of a rub. Very quick reaction there by the horse. Super athletic. Oh, looking like he just doesn't want to turn. Looked like he was trying to get him to follow, and the horse just didn't want to turn to the right. Adds a little bit extra leg, and here you can see Just having a little bit of control issues. Gets the turn done. Sometimes the horses can just lock up a little bit like that. When they do that, it makes it very difficult to get them to follow you. All right, he'll finish up 76-43. 8 faults on jumping faults, 8 on the clock. And that'll go into 12th place for PG at the moment with Emerald's Dream. Okie dokie, we're going to move on to USA's Coco Fath. Coco Fath is sitting on the Hillside Farm LLC entry of Harley D. It's the 12-year-old gelding by Spartacus with the Grandilote mother. It's a former rider of Vasco Flores and Matt Sampson. This horse is by Spartacus. We don't talk about Spartacus so much. You see it plenty in breeding. It was a 160 horse that jumped with Eric van der Vleuten from the Netherlands. And the horses out of Spartacus tend to have really good characters. They're really nice horses. And but he's not the oldest horse. So the oldest kind of foals are just sort of starting in the sport now. But they tend to be easy and simple, really scopy. Let's see if Harley looks like that. So we have not seen a single person attempt the 3 strides. I don't know how much of a benefit it really is to do the 3. It's certainly safer to do the 4. But it is a lot of work because it is so steady. I mean, it's more steady than we normally see out. You know, it's one thing in training to do something that feels like the extra ad. You don't see it so often in competition that a line is so tight. But Coco handled it really well, and everyone seems to be doing it well. Did a good job there to really use her upper body. She kind of leaned back away from the front pole. She was getting there deep. She helped the horse really get away from that front pole. That was very well done by Coco. Looked like maybe she landed and thought to do the 7 initially and then sat up again at the end. But good solid round, 64-57 going into 2nd place. So clear for Coco Fath and Harley D. Very well executed and just kind of what I thought from the Spartacuses. Look like a nice character, scopy, nice and simple. It's nice to see when what you think the horses are going to be from their breeding, and then they actually end up that way. All right, we're going to move on to Germany's Renee Dittmer. Renee is sitting on the Live Oak Plantation LLC entry, Burlington Riverland. 13-year-old gelding by My Lord Catargo with the Dollar de Maurier mother. Renee had such a super season in the fall here in the U.S. Of course, partner of Chloe Reed. That was very well done. Oh, look at that athletic move from the horse. You could see its hind legs. Really thought about it. It was a little bit lagging in the timing of its hind legs, but really thought about where the pole was. But he did that 4 beautifully. Really used the upper body, sat up so he could be steadying on stride 1. And then he gets a beautiful jump there at the Liverpool Oxer. A little bit of a gap coming into the triple, but actually worked out well so we could still add leg at B. Making this look simple. Renee's a tall guy. Actually reminds me a little bit of Daniel Deusser on a horse. They're both quite tall, lanky gentlemen, but they're very, very light on a horse. Very similar. Beautiful. Look at that. 64-86 is the time going into 3rd place for Renee Dittmer and Burlington Riverland. That was a lovely round. He made it look very, very simple. Didn't overcomplicate things. You know, this course asks, because there's so many related distances, it asks a lot of questions of, can you steady, can you lengthen, can you know, how much adjustability do you have, and how connected are you to your horse? Using your eye to kind of follow the track everywhere. You don't really have that many places to breathe. So that was very well done. And here is his partner, Chloe Reed. It says Jessica Springsteen, but that is Chloe Reed jumping. And Chloe is sitting on Chelsea 179. This horse very careful, jumped a beautiful round last week in the 150. Again, just bringing it up to this level. Ooh, Just a little far off there. Actually helped set up the 4. This horse very careful, jumping very high. I really like this horse. It's a really quality animal. Nice uphill balance, a lot of blood. Oh, big jump there. She opts to do the steady 6, actually, which you see then it gets a little bit far away at B. I don't think that that's necessarily the wrong decision, but oh, it looks like maybe she's just reorganizing a little bit. Again, just a younger horse, 9 years of age, just developing up to this level. And looked like the horse was jumping up real high, getting real careful. Maybe Chloe's just going to jump a simple jump. Let's see what she does. Yeah, it looks like maybe she's just coming to number 1, wanting to give the horse a positive experience. Just looked like the horse was getting a little bit overly careful, and Chloe just retiring within the round, jumps that first jump. Again, was jumping very well, but also very high, and sometimes when they get high like that, they can have a fault, and you don't want them to have a fault and get scared from it. You want them to think, to be confident, so maybe she drops down a level, or that's why she comes back and jumps the first jump. But I think that was an educational choice there by Chloe. Okay, now we're going to move on to Jessica Springsteen. And it's the Stonehill Farm entry, Naomi Van Het Kaisershof. 11-year-old mare by Cardento with the For Pleasure mother. This horse can be very fast. And of course, Jessie can be lightning up there. Beautiful jump there. Steadies up. Well done. Keeps moving a little bit here. So she can always be very fast. This is a nice, neat turn. And now she has to steady up. Ooh, a little bit of a touch there. Gets through it. Nice there in the 9. Neat back here. That was a quick turn. Nice angle, right to left. Gets over the plank. 1 left to go. She looks like she's on it. And a little bit of a reach at the last. Beautiful. And that'll be our new leader. 59.07 into the lead for Jessica Springsteen and Naomi Van Het Kaisershof. Look at that nice smile from Jess. That was a beautiful round. And she's been really knocking at the door with this horse. She almost won the meter 50 speed 2 weeks ago in the 5-star. Had the second to last jump down, but had the time. So she's been kind of on the edge of trying to win one of these classes, and that was a beautiful round there. So that will be our new leader, and the new time to beat, 59.07. So only clear to break that 60-second mark at the moment. All right, let's take a look at Great Britain's Jessica Mendoza. She's sitting on Chuck Bass, and Chuck Bass is her own entry of the 13-year-old stallion by Citadel with a cannon mother. Also owned by Helmo Stables AB. And there, a little bit the steady 4. She was trying to get the steady 4. The horse just never had an opportunity to really finish the last step. And you can see that's why he got a little bit tangled in that pole, just related to that very short 4 strides, not able to fit it in. But she just makes a little circle and reorganizes. Then looking like maybe she just doesn't quite have the control that she wants, and she will retire within the round. So that'll be the end for Jessica Mendoza today. Again, our new leader, Jessica Springsteen, just took over the lead with Naomi. And here is our Challenge Cup winner from yesterday, Ben Mayer. World-ranked number 2 rider in the world. He had a gorgeous round yesterday to take the win in our Grand Prix qualifier. And today he is sitting on Faltic HB, the Pamela Wright, Charlotte Rosetter, and Ben Mayer entry of the 14-year-old Dutch-bred stallion by Baltic with the Concorda mother. This horse has been a wonderful mount for Ben. Over the years, he's jumped so many Nations Cups and Grand Prix and all over the place with this horse. It's not a big horse, but it is a wonderful, compact powerhouse. And let's see what Ben can do. I believe he has one more in this class as well. He does, and Jus de Grisienne is coming up later, and I believe that's the one he's planning to jump in the Grand Prix tomorrow night. But he has 3 horses in the 5-star this week, all capable of jumping the 5-star Grand Prix, so he is in a very lucky position to have such a super string of horses at the moment. So focused, gearing up multiple animals, just wanting to be as prepared as possible, hoping to defend his Olympic title in Paris this summer. There you can see the horse was getting a little bit mouthy, and Ben just puts the leg on. Great there. Just kept the turn, kept the leg on. Gets the 7. Beautiful over the last. 59.52 will go into second place behind Jessica Springsteen for Baltic, HB, and Ben. 59.52 on the clear for our number 2 rider in the world, sitting second at the moment. Beautiful round there, but we expect nothing less from the master. All right, we are going to move on to Belgium's Emily Conter and the Stefex Stables entry, Ocean Quality. 10-year-old mare by Baltic VDL with the Calato mother. Former ride of Charlotte Smet of Belgium. And coming from the family of the Holstein Stallion Contender, this horse. Let's see what Emily can do. This has been a really good mount for her. The last couple of weeks I've watched it, and they've had some really great rounds. And actually, Ben's horse that we just saw, Baltic, was by Baltic, and this is also another horse by Baltic VDL. Again, thank you to today's class sponsor, Bainbridge, and the Bainbridge Companies, LLC. Looking good so far. Horse has such a nice expression. Gets right up to the base of A there. Beautiful. They're actually jumping this Lugano Diamonds Oxer very well. I didn't think that they would jump it so well. They don't tend to jump those pale blue jumps. Like yesterday, the Lugano Diamonds double was one of the hardest things to jump on the course for the WEF Challenge Cup, and today they're handling it really well. It's a bit of an awkward corner, but they're all doing it well. All right, she'll finish up 4 faults. 63.65 is that time. And going into 10th place at the moment for Emily Conter and Ocean Quality. Again, those who are not qualified from yesterday's Challenge Cup, 10 from today's class will add their name to the 40 for tomorrow night's Grand Prix. Natalie Dean is going to be our next to go, 24-year-old rider from the USA, ranked 83rd in the world. And Natalie is sitting on Shadora Lady, the Marigold Sport Horses LLC entry of the 11-year-old mare. Her coach, Ben Mayer, sitting in second at the moment. Very careful looking, this horse. Lots of blood. Nice shot around there. Coming in, I was going to say, she's coming in really fast into that into the triple. She just had a lot of speed. She had to kind of jump the Oxer at the Liverpool well, but then she just landed. It had to really move up in the 5 and just was a little bit strung out and a little bit flat. with a horse like this that has a lot of blood and a lot of natural energy, you got to keep the stride a little bit contained with that energy in order to get the height in the jump, and she just got a little bit flat. Clears the last, but just have an A of that triple coming down. 4 faults, 61.88 for Natalie and Shadora Lady. Again, our leading time is 59.07, set by Jessica Springsteen and Naomi. And let's take a look at our next entry. Elise Oken, 32-year-old rider for the USA on the High Hopes Farm LLC entry, Forrestal. Forrestal is a 10-year-old gelding by Don Diarardo with the Allegretto mother. All right. And Elise, of course, just coming back from the inaugural Longines League of Nations competition, which was a couple of weeks ago in Abu Dhabi. She was on the U.S. team, but she's now back here competing. World traveler, Miss Elise Oken. Jumping beautifully. Trains, of course, with Marcus and Meredith Bierbaum. She had a wonderful season early on, late in the fall, actually, of last year. Winning a couple of big classes, jumping on a couple of Senior Nations Cup teams. So she's been doing really well. Little shift there, right to left. Horse really landed off to the left. Slowed her turn down a little bit. But good job, keep coming. Getting back over, back on track. Clears the last. And nice clear round into 7th, 65. 67 is the time for Elise Oken and Forrestal. So, not super quick, but absolutely lovely clear round. All right, now we're going to take a look at a crowd favorite. It's going to be Faustino Datilli. Bull Runs, Faustino Datilli, and Kristen Vanderveen. 19-year-old stallion. Let's see what Frosty can do. Owned by the Bull Run Jumpers 5 LLC. By Berlin with the Darko mother. This horse, of course, has won so many of these Friday speed classes here in Wellington and all over the place. Wonderful longtime partnerships of Kristen. And he can be so fast. Funny, it doesn't seem like he could be the fastest horse, but he just is such a fast horse. Steadies up here. Good job there. She stays on the inside, does the 6 across the middle. We actually haven't seen anyone else do that 6 like that. She's moving. Needs to steady up coming in here. Oh, has A down, unfortunately, and gets a little bit shallow at B as well. And steadies up. Ooh, gets real deep there. Great effort on his part. She's still going. She's certainly going to have a quick time. She will clear the last time 60.55, but in the end we'll have 3 down. 12 faults for Kristen Vanderveen and Bull Runs Faustino Datilli. So again, leader still Jessica Springsteen and Naomi on that time of 59.07. And we're going to move on to Laura Kraut. All right, Laura Kraut is sitting on. Who's she sitting on? She's sitting on Calgary Tame. Stars and Stripes entry of the 12-year-old gelding by Old Chap Tame and the Cashmere Mother. Steadies up there in the 4, really curls around that vertical. Shifting a little bit. Laura doing a good job just keeping her leg on, trying to keep the horse straight and forward. Looking where he wants to go. Tight turn back here. Oh, great jump there by the horse. Moves up in the 5. Gets a little bit deep at B, but great effort. And she is on it, moving, looking really good. Needs to clear this plank. Steadies up for the 8, keeps the energy up at the end, and 58.35. That'll be our new leader. Laura Kraut and Calgary Tame take over the lead by about a second or so, a little under a second. And that'll be our new leader. Well done to Laura Kraut and Calgary Tame. All right, we're going to move on to our next entry. It's going to be Kathleen Driscoll of the USA. And the Plain Bay Farm entry, Casaletto. 10-year-old Holsteiner gelding by Cascadella with the Clinton mother. An amazing young rider here. And 60th in the world at the moment in the world rankings. So she is doing amazingly. And let's see if she goes for it. New leading time set by Laura Kraut, our last entry. She's a little bit on the inside track there. Had to really steady up for the 7 around that timer. Bit of an awkward thing. You have to go around that timer. We saw Kristen Vanderveen do 6 there and just kind of stay on it with a big mover. So we know it's possible. She's looking good so far. Trying to make a tight turn back here. Big jump there at the Liverpool. Kind of takes that first one out of the corner. Does a good job. Steadies up and gets over the last. 61.65 is that time. 4 faults. Oh, not 4 faults. 4th place for Casaletto and Kathleen Driscoll. So, very solid round there. Going into 4th with that 61.65 time. So we're seeing a bunch of clears. Everyone jumping the class really well. Again, difficult speed class because of all the related distances, but people handling it well. What makes it difficult is that it's hard to actually make up time and beat your fellow competitors because there aren't any long runs. Everything is kind of set distances. So you got to either leave some strides out or be very neat on those rollback turns. Laura Kraut was very quick and did a super job. All right, and now we're going to move on to Ireland. Shane Sweetnam, ranked 12th in the world, and he is sitting on Irondale du Float, which has been a tremendous horse for him in recent weeks. He's won a number of classes on this horse, including a 1.50 m a couple of weeks ago out on the field in a giant storm. A little bit long there in the 1, gets it done, steadies up. This horse has been super careful. Shane really trusting the carefulness of this horse. Knows that he can ride fast, turn tight. Gives himself a good shot here. Beautiful jump there. Has to move up a little bit so he can steady coming in. A little bit of a touch, a little bit of a reach there at B. Gets away with it. Steadies up there and just not enough power to get over that oxer, unfortunately. Clears the skinny, but there we go. Gets over the last. Quick time, 68.96, but with the 1 down at the Lugano Diamonds Oxer, it'll be 4 faults for Shane Sweetnam and Irondale du Float. All right, we're going to take a look at USA's Michaela Langmeyer. So, good effort there by Shane, but we'll have to settle with the 1 down. All right, Michaela Langmeyer is in now. And she is sitting on Chadina. Rafferty Farm LLC entry of the 11-year-old mare by Canthargos with the Naru mother. This horse seen in the past by Molly Hay as well as Abigail McCardle. Molly used to ride this horse in Europe. I've seen this go a bunch with Michaela. Ooh. Funny rub there, actually. She touched it. It kind of sat on the edge of the cup, and then it did eventually fall, unfortunately. Steadies up here for the 4. And then just having the front pole there. Just got there a little bit early in the southern arches. Horse was a little bit late, kind of pulling that front leg up out of the way. Nice ride there through the triple. It's funny, if they're hitting A well, they're not really having much trouble with B or C. A certainly causing more trouble than the rest. So sitting on the 2 down at the moment for Michaela. Keeps moving a little bit to the last. A little reach at the bend, but gets over at 64.45 is that time. But 2 down, 8 faults for Michaela and Chadina. Okie dokie. So again, leading time is from Calgary Tame and Laura Kraut, 58.35. So that is our leading time at the moment. And let's see if Alessandra Volpe, the 23-year-old from the U.S., and Berlinda can give it a good go. They had a little bit of a rough round yesterday. So let's see if she can have a nice solid round today. She's looking good so far. Sits up there, good use of the upper body, really tight there in the 4. Yeah, you could see the horse skipped a little bit at the end, just didn't quite finish that stride. That's why that comes down. She did a good job using her upper body to try to sit up and fit the 4, but the horse just not able to complete the stride on takeoff. Sits up here. Beautiful ride there through the triple. And this is looking like a nice solid round. Couple down at the moment, but certainly confidence building after yesterday's mishap. But gets over the last, finishing up 8 faults, 61.30 for Alessandra Volpe and Berlinda. So nice solid round. And she won't be too upset with that. Looking good. All right, we're going to move on to Rodrigo, Pessoa, and Dalida. Representing his home nation of Brazil, ranked 78th in the world at the moment. Sitting on the Artemis Equestrian Farm LLC entry of the 10-year-old Zangerside mare by Diamant with the Calvaro Z mother. Seen this horse jump a lot. Very sporty type. Kind of typical Diamant. And Rodrigo, of course, needing no introduction. Winning everything this sport basically has to offer. But he's been doing really well. He has his other horse, Major Tom, in the 5-star this week. But he's staying quick here now on Dalida. That was a really good turn back there. Just needs to keep it organized. Needs the balance here. Good. Jumps through the triple well. Does the 8. Turn back here. So he is certainly on it. Very speedy. We'll have to keep a look at that clock and see. Again, 58.35, that time to beat. Moves up to the last, clears it, and 58.58. Going into second by a couple tenths of a second, but super round there for Rodrigo Pessoa and Dalida. And very good round there for Rodrigo. And Dalida, I've seen, of course, that horse jump a number of really solid rounds, and that's nice for the 10-year-old mare. Just coming up and sitting in second at the moment. All right, we're going to move on to USA's Alex Matz and Adele B. Dilschneider Racing Stables LLC entry, Illuminati MBF. This will be our last one before the break of our halfway point. And let's see what the 11-year-old Dutch-bred gelding by Wietvoet and Air Jordan can do. So again, Laura Kraut leading. Rodrigo just went into second place. A little bit late there with the hind leg of the horse, but gets over it. This horse kind of very gummy. For those curious, actually, Wietvoet, also sometimes known as Lansdowne. So it's a Guidam's son that Connor Swale rode. Just getting there a little bit early, has the front pole of the Lugano Diamonds Oxer. And there a little bit as well, just looking like the horse not quite sharp enough over the top of that pole, having the Liverpool down. Gets over the last, but we'll pick up those two down. 8 faults, 65.46 is that time for Alex Matz and Illuminati MBF. So that will take us to our midway drag. And again, Laura Kraut leading. Calgary Tame, 58.35 is that leading time. Dalida and Rodrigo Pessoa just recently went into second. Jessica Springsteen and Naomi Van Het Kaisershoff sitting in third. Again, thank you to our sponsors for today's class, Bainbridge. We are Bainbridge. We manage, develop, and invest in apartment communities that are complete experiences where people are free to pursue better lives. From New York to Miami and beyond, we create places where residents feel equally at home and inspired. Presenting our live stream, Dodd Technologies. Dodd Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for so many different industries: sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit them online at doddtechnologies.com. Today's live stream also presented in part with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. All right, we are halfway through our $62,500 CSI 5-star Bainbridge meter 50. Drags are going in, water truck. They're going to refresh the footing, and we will be back with you guys in just a minute. Stay tuned.
Can Jumper make you a show jumping expert? With Jumper, explore the latest event results, discover top horses and riders, and follow your favorites. Jumper delivers data from around the world, so you're always the most informed. Download now and take the guesswork out of show jumping with Jumper.
Welcome to Carlswood, the home of Irish Olympic medalist, coach and international horse producer, Cian O'Connor. At Carlswood, we pride ourselves on the belief that success is reward for effort. Set in County Meath, Carlswood is the home of Keane's industry-leading high-performance centre. The Carlswood system is based on a structured approach to daily routine and meticulous planning to help reach our goals. At Carlswood, Keane and the team work together to provide coaching, mentoring, advice on horse purchases and goal setting. We also facilitate students who wish to progress their show jumping skills while they study in universities in Ireland and across Europe. When it comes to developing your horse's fitness, scheduling and planning around competitions, no stone is left unturned. At Carlswood, we are committed to delivering quality, a place where our goal is the fulfilment of your ambition.
Jumper help you find your next top horse? Let's say you're looking for an 8-year-old, competing at meter 40, jumping clear 60% of the time. Jumper lets you find top horses by age, pedigree, or performance. Download now and take the guesswork out of show jumping with Jumper.
Be a part of show jumping history when the Show Jumping Hall of Fame hosts many of the sport's living legends at its annual induction gala. The gala takes place on Sunday evening, March 3rd at the Wanderers Club in Wellington. This year's inductees are Pancho Lopez, Katie Prudence, longtime barn manager, and Laura Kraut's gold medal Olympic mount Cedric. Also on hand to receive the Show Jumping Hall of Fame's second annual International Award will be former Olympic, World, and World Cup champion Rodrigo Pessoa of Brazil. Don't miss this very special evening when the Show Jumping Hall of Fame honors the history of our sport and those who helped make it great. It's Sunday evening, March 3rd at the Wanderers Club in Wellington. Order your tickets today at showjumpinghalloffame.net.
All right, the tractors and drags are making their way out, and we are back for the second half of the $62,500 CSI 5-star Bainbridge meter 50 speed. Laura Kraut winning at the moment. Calgary tame time 58:35. Thanks again to our sponsor today, Bainbridge, for sponsoring today's class. And of course, we're going to move on to Ireland's Jordan Coyle. Jordan Coyle is sitting on Ariso, the Elon Farm entry of the Swedish bred gelding by Casal with the contender mother. All right, let's see what Jordan can do on Ariso. He can be very fast on this horse. And very unique style. Also another one who bridges his reins, so he holds that extra loop in the other hand. Oh, just has to really work hard there to fit the 4 strides. A little bit deep there. Beautiful jump, however. Let's see, Jordan just dropping the reins on takeoff, letting the horse use his head and neck to jump. Moves up, and then a little bit of a steady. Yeah, you could see just was moving up, and he tried to sort of balance and steady up to get it on takeoff, but horse just had a lot of momentum, not able to clear A. Definitely proving to be the most difficult jump on the course. Coming into that triple off the long 5. Clears the plank, moves up to the last, but we'll have to settle with that one down. 59:28, so super quick time, but with the 4 faults, that will put him into 14th place at the moment. To get our second half started, we'll see 29 more entries go in this speed class today. Again, the top 10 scores for those who are not already qualified for tomorrow night's Grand Prix will qualify to round out the 40 from adding to the 30 that qualified yesterday. And now we'll take a look at Canada's Tiffany Foster, ranked 17th in the world. I believe she's the leading lady rider at the moment. And she's sitting on the 9-year-old Dutch-bred gelding Cadans. It's the Artisan Farms LLC entry by Grand Slam with the Caroso VDL mother. All right, let's see what Tiff can do. Nice, simple start there. Just gets there a little bit early at 3A. Actually have not seen that come down so much, but just looked like the horse couldn't get those front legs out of the way. Now she looks like she's just taking her time a little bit. Wants to have a nice round. Again, just 9-year-old horse this, so just developing up at this meter 50 level. But horse looks very capable. All right, gets over that plank. 1 left to go. Nice simple round. Just did have that one down early at 3A, front pole of the oxer, but finishing up 4 faults, 68:44 is that time for Tiffany and Cadans. All right, now we're going to take a look at Ashley Bond, Israeli rider, ranked 51st in the world at the moment. She is 38 years old. Ashley is sitting on the horse that she actually won the class on Wednesday with, and it's Elka de la Palme, the Elon Ferder entry of the 10-year-old mare by Cartoon. Can be very fast. Not only is Ashley a super fast rider, but she's been bringing this horse along. Good strong ride there. It's a careful horse. Steadies up in the 4. That was a great athletic move by the horse. Really curled around that. Strong ride there. I think Ashley's done a really great job developing this horse. Finding out kind of the bridle that works for it. And getting a big jump there. Ashley almost getting jumped loose a little bit. Steadies up does the 6. Most people have done the 5, but actually worked out really well for her. She just trusted the horse's scope to get through at B. Oh, and there, just on the angle a little bit, just trying to be quick, and has the front pole down. Again, we've seen that come down a couple of times. Not a tremendous amount, but certainly caught a few people out. Quick time, 61.90, but with the 4 faults, that'll go into 17th place for Ashley and Elka de la Palme at the moment. So, again, Laura Kraut still leading. Calgary Tame time 58.35. And now we're going to take a look at Lebanon's super speedy rider, Jad Dana. He's sitting on ABC Quantum Cruise. It's the 15-year-old gelding by OBOS quality, owned by Winmont and Ronnie Beard. All right, we know Jad can be a really quick. Let's see if he can give Laura Kraut a run for her money. Good start there. Jad's such a scrappy rider up there, just always fighting to make it happen. Steadies up. I still can't believe no one's tried to do 3 there. All right. It's looking good so far. Keeping it speedy. Just keeping the balance up around. Ooh. And you could see he was trying to get the balance. The horse just didn't get his eye on the jump. And then he kind of wanted to take that bigger one right at the end. And the horse just didn't see it and kind of took that opportunity. So now it's looking like he's just reorganizing, wants to get a good shot. And there. Don't think it's so much that the horse spooked at the jump. I think he just saw a little bit of an opportunity, was a little bit disconnected in the connection point with the horse. And just look like they're having a little bit of control disagreements. And he will retire within the round for Jad and Quantum Cruise. Okay, so we will move on to Kent Farrington. Kent, of course, was second in our Challenge Cup yesterday on Landon. Today, the 4th-ranked rider in the world is sitting on Mila, the Haiti McNerney entry of the 9-year-old Holsteiner mare by Crunch with the Quadros mother. Actually, don't know Crunch. To look that up. Well, Kent has been on fire recently. He's won 2 of our Challenge Cups, second in yesterday's. Almost won the Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago. Had the time, but had one down. And, of course, team gold medalist from the Pan Ams, individual silver medalist. And this just a 9-year-old horse developing. Kent really has a nice string of horses at the moment. This looks really like a horse for Kent. Super sporty, light mare. Careful, just has no martingale, just keeping it simple. We were talking earlier about Briand having wonderful body control. Kent also one of the riders who has gorgeous body control. That was beautifully executed. This horse wasting no time in the air. And there, Kent did a great job there, really using his left outside leg to help get the horse to turn. You could see him really kind of dig deep into it, and he's looking pretty quick. I think he's going to have the time if he clears this last. He does, and he will take over the lead, 58.24. So just a 1/10 of a second ahead of Laura, but into the lead for Kent Farrington and Mila. So super round there, and well executed by the master of faster. Congrats, Kent. That was well done. All right, we're going to move on to another entry, the second entry for Coco Fath. She's sitting on Happy Time. It's the Seahorse LLC entry of the 12-year-old Dutch-bred gelding by Quality Time with the Berlin mother. Coco had a lovely round on her other horse. She's sitting 8th at the moment on that one. That's Harley D. Let's see if she can improve upon that with Happy Time. This horse by Quality Time. That was a horse that was shown in the U.S. by Charlie Jacobs, and it's now sitting at stud in Ireland. But it's given some really good horses. Good job there. A little bit of a touch maybe at number 4, but very light. This is looking nice and smooth. I don't think she's quite on the pace of Kent, but certainly has a little bit of pace here. A little bit of a touch at B at the back pole, but that one stays in the cups. Coco does such a great job with her upper body to sit up on takeoff of the jump. She really doesn't let her shoulders kind of get in the way of the balance of the horse's front end. She really uses her upper body to hold the balance. She does have the plank down, unfortunately. Was a little bit quick and on the angle. Gets over the last, but will pick up that late fault. 4 faults, 64.64 is her time. With just the plank down, you can see her shake her head a little bit in frustration. She goes, ugh, can't believe I had that. All right, we're going to move on to the second entry for Jessica Springsteen. I'm sure she would like to retake the lead. She held the lead on Naomi for quite a while, and now she is sitting on Tiny Dancer. 10-year-old mare by Starka with the Contendro 1. Mother owned by the Stonehill Farm. This horse has been a really quick, beautiful jumper for her. I think she bought it as a 7 or 8-year-old. She's just been developing it. It's 10 years old now. But it looks like a fun horse to ride. Really nice balance. Gallop out in front of it. Beautiful jump there. Keeping the pace up around the corner. And a little bit of leg, a little bit of a stutter step. You could see he was a little bit far away in that one stride. Jumped A really high. And horse kind of took a little bit of a double step to get through it, but cleared it. Beautiful jump over the Liverpool. Moves up and then needs to steady. Ooh. Just a little bit quick. You could see she was still kind of moving up, and then she tried to steady right at the last second, but just had a lot of momentum there at A. And again, that's the jump we've seen come down time and time again in this class. Hardest jump to jump on the course for sure. All based off of that short turn and them landing shallow at the Skinny Oxer with the Liverpool. She moves up to the last, takes the long one, but will have to settle with that one down. 63.96 on the 4 faults for Jess Springsteen and Tiny Dancer. So good solid round, but we'll have to settle on the 4 faults. All right. Now we're going to take a look at Ireland's Dermot Lennon. Dermot Lennon is sitting on Anthem in My Heart, the Dermot Lennon entry of the 10-year-old Irish-bred gelding. And it is Irish-bred, but I don't know the breeding. It doesn't say it. I looked it up. I couldn't find it. I'm going to guess it maybe has some thoroughbred breeding in it with a name like Anthem in My Heart. And without knowing the breeding, that's probably why, especially coming out of Ireland. We see a lot of thoroughbred breeding there in Ireland. But that is just a guess, so don't take my word for it. Oof. Just looked like he lost a little bit of momentum. Horse kind of died a little bit on takeoff there. Jumped up, but not able to push enough across the back pole there at 3A. Steadies up, does 7 to the Skinny. Maybe gets there a little bit early, still just trying to get the balance. Has that down. We actually have not seen the Skinny come down so much today. most people have done the 6 across the line, but it did walk long in that 6, and a couple people debated, is it 6, is it 7? And Dermot opting for the 7, unfortunately not working out. And there, it looks like the shape of the horse just a little bit catching it, and he will retire within the round for Anthem in My Heart and Dermot Lennon. So, had a few down and electing to retire. All right, now we're going to take a look at our super speedy rider. Going to be Germany's Richard Vogel and the Coleridge Equestrian LLC and Richard Vogel entry Cidello. 10-year-old gelding by Cascadello with the Forsyth mother. Of course, this was the horse that he won the 3-star Grand Prix out on, I think it was week 3, out on the field in maybe week 2 or 3, something like that. So already a Grand Prix winner here this year at WEF. Very quick horse. And Richie just super fast. And let's see if he can give Kent and Mila a run for their money. 58.24 is that time to beat. And Richie looks like he's off to the races. This horse has a big, beautiful gallop. Very careful. And let's see what Richie does. Easy in the 6. We've seen everyone else do 7. Richie got the 6 easy there. Ooh, little bit of a stretch. Gets a little bit lucky there. Does the 3. Was wondering if anyone was going to try it, and I had in the back of my mind it was going to be Richie. He did it. Steadies up here. Does the 7 actually there to number 6 to get the balance to the skinny. So he opened up strong, then steadies up. Now needs to stay calm and balanced. Let the horse jump around the triple. Beautiful there. Does the 8. Little stretch, but a good shot. Keeps coming there. Clears the Liverpool. Does the nice 8. Gets over the plank. I think he's on it. Does he leave it up? Ooh, a little bit of a touch at the end, but he gets him. 57.77. That'll be our new leader, Richard Vogel and Cidello, beating out Kent for the new time to beat, 57.77. He touched the last. He was a little bit far off it. Got away with that lucky rub, but into the lead for Richie Vogel and Cidello. That was an exciting round. I liked it. Get excited here watching this $62,500 CSI 5-star Bainbridge a meter 50 speed class, and that was some good speeding. All right, now we're going to take a look at Alessandra Volpe and Gracio Dupasci. 12-year-old gelding by Tinka's Boy, the Caratino mother, owned by Tony Coupal, Alessandra Volpe, and Michelangelo Volpe. She had a nice solid round on her last one. Again, Richie did the 3 there. I don't know if we're going to see anyone else attempt it, but he is our leader. So if anyone else wants to try to take the win, they're going to have to do what Richie did. She's looking really good here. Just got there maybe. She kind of turned early. Maybe was still turning as she took off there a little bit at the Liverpool Oxer. Has the front pole of it. We actually have not seen that front pole come down so much. We've seen the back pole come down a couple of times, which is always funny because it's a skinny Oxer, meaning that it doesn't have so much width. So you would think that the front pole would be more difficult to jump, but we've seen horses kind of jump up almost like it's a vertical and then land shallow at it. But in this case with Alessandra, it was, she had the front pole. Jumps over the last, but we'll pick up those 2 down. 8 fault, 63.76 is her time with Gracio Dupasci. All right, again, new leader, Richie Vogel and Cidello. 57.77 is that time to beat. But let's see if the Belgian rider, Nicola Philipparts, can give it a go. 30-year-old rider for his home nation. Ranked 27th in the world. He's had a busy season so far, flying back and forth a couple of times to Europe to compete his other horses. He's here this week for the 5-star. will head over for the Rolex Grand Slam Den Bosch next week in the Netherlands. But today he's sitting on Pandora van de Kruisova, the Team Philipparts entry of the 9-year-old mare by Sidan. Good jump there. Steadies up for the 4. Keeps coming a little bit there in the 7. Does the 6. So we've seen tons of options today. You know, people doing all different numbers. We've seen 6 to 6. We've seen 6 to 7. We've seen 7 to 7. Then we've seen 6 here into the triple. Oh, have an A again like we see time and time in this class. Just struggling to get over that vertical off the flat 5 from the short turn. Gets over the plank. 1 left to go for Nicola. Gave it a good shot, but will finish up in a time of 62:30 with the 1 down. So not going into 8th place, as they say. Missed a fault, but 62:30 is Nicola's time. All right, and now we're going to move on to Ben Mayer's second entry of the class. He is sitting in 6th place with Faltic HB. He had a beautiful clear round there, but now he's sitting on Enjeu de Grisien, the 10-year-old Cell Francais gelding by Toulon with the Andiamo mother, owned by Ben, as well as Charlotte Rossiter and Pamela Wright. And I do believe this is the horse he is thinking to jump in tomorrow night's Grand Prix. Of course, he won our qualifier yesterday on his other horse, Dallas Vegas Batilli. A little bit long there, just setting this horse up, I believe, for tomorrow night's class. Just taking his time, not worrying about the time, just wanting to get, look at that, flying over that oxer. Does the ad here. Again, in a round where a rider is trying to set the horses up, he may opt to do some of the ads, just trying to keep the horse contained, keep the shape of the jump. Wants the horse to get into the ring. Wow, flying over that oxer. Of course, this is the horse that he won the class as a 9-year-old in the end of the year last year in London. And just thinking about rideability, thinking about the shape of the horse, shape of the jump. Just wanting to get him ready, get the control. So he's got all the pieces. He does have the plank down. Just look like the horse got maybe actually a little bit strong there. All right, he will pick up that 1 down. A couple of time faults as well, but I don't think he'll be too bothered by that. 4 jumping, 5 on the clock, 9 total, 73.34 for Ben Mayer and Enjeu de Grisien. All right, and now we're going to see another entry that I believe is setting up for tomorrow night's Grand Prix. And it's another fan favorite, Ireland, Shane Sweetnam and James Conn Cruz. 11-year-old gelding by Cannon with the cruising mother, owned by the Gizmo Partners, LLC, as well as Shane himself. And Shane really taking his time, setting this horse up for the big season ahead. Eyeing with, of course, the Olympics, hopefully. And just today he's got no boots on. I saw him jump a class in the meter 52 weeks ago, and he did put boots on behind. I actually think it was really interesting. We'll see if he jumps this horse tomorrow night, if he puts the boots on behind. Normally hasn't gone in boots, but I know he's been playing with things. As the horse gets older and more mature, you can try a couple of more things just to help keep the jump a little bit more fluid. Again, you can see just setting the horse up, not worrying about the time at all. Beautiful jump there. That was lovely. And he's making a little bit of a circle here. And just looking like he will raise his hand And that looks like it's going to be retirement for Shane and James Conn Cruz, but the horse looks like it's jumping in beautiful form and possibly just setting up for tomorrow night. We'll have to see, however. Again, we won't know until later. All the qualified riders. It is a complicated process, not so simple as just top 30, top 10, because it's the top 10 who haven't already qualified, and it's top 10 scores. It's a whole complicated system, but we will know at the end of the day today who is in for tomorrow night and who will jump. All right, next up for Canada, Aaron Ballard, ranked 33rd in the world. And Aaron is sitting on the Elandfurter and Marigold Sport Horses LLC entry. Ginger Ask, 10-year-old Holsteiner mare by Casal with the Levisto mother. This horse looks so much like Levisto. Levisto, if anyone remembers, was a beautiful gray stallion with a white mane and tail that Julian Melchior from Zangerside rode. It looked like a giant, beautiful pony. But this horse looks similar to that. Ooh, real athletic move there. It's been a really good horse. I've seen it jump a number of times so far with Erin. She's just been developing it up to this level. 10 years old. Has the skinny down. Again, we haven't seen that come down too much. Just looked like the horse was maybe a little bit distracted. They're having A and B down as well. Just look like maybe the shape of the horse is just not quite using her body around the jump so much today. Now Erin kind of just slowing up, taking her time, trying to finish as solid as possible. Gets over the last, but we'll pick up those few down. 12 faults, 65-1-1 for Aaron Ballard and Ginger Ask. All right, again, our leader is Richard Vogel and Cidello of Germany. 57.77 is that time to beat. Kent sitting in second with Mila. And Calgary Team and Laura Kraut in third at the moment. And we're going to see our second entry from USA's Kathleen Driscoll. Kathleen Driscoll sitting on the Don Stewart entry, Flotilla. 13-year-old mare by Alvaro with the Bajou de Rouet mother. Former ride of Amanda Derbyshire. Let's see what Kathleen can do. Of course, coming out of Team Prudent. Steadies up for that 4. Gets a little bit lucky. Horse did a good job to kind of back up there. Great turn back there. She really kept her leg on, really kept moving. And, ooh, hard rub at A behind, but luckily that stays up. That was the hardest rub to stay up. And she's moving. I don't know if she's going to catch Richie's time, but she's certainly on it. Steadies up for the plank. Clears that. 1 left to go. Moves up. Clears the last. 57.72. She got him. Look at that. First place at the moment for Kathleen Driscoll. Taking over the lead from Richie Vogel. Wow, look at that. 57.72 by just a couple of 100ths of a second. Unbelievable. Very cool. So Kathleen Driscoll taking over the lead in this 5-star class for the meter 50 speed, presented by Bainbridge. That was super cool. All right. So now we're going to take a look at our next one on the list, Jordan Coyle. Jordan is sitting on 4 gold, the Falkirk Farm LLC entry. Of course, this was the horse that he finished in 3rd place in the 5-star Grand Prix 2 weeks ago. Jumped our first clear round of that night on the super difficult class. This horse jumped amazingly. Let's see if he can do it again. I believe he's probably setting up for tomorrow. Oh, he looks like he's going for it. He's speedy. Maybe thinking about still qualifying. Beautiful ride there. This is not the biggest horse, but it is very careful. Clearly very scopy. It jumped that 5-star a couple weeks ago easily. Does the steady 6 coming in. Oh, and then has A as well. It's funny, the 5 or the 6, neither is working out particularly well for anybody. We're seeing that come down so much. So. He's just slowing up a little bit here. Just trying to organize, keep it together. Clears the last. But with that one down at A of the triple, like we keep seeing, 4 fault, 62.50 is the time for Jordan Coyle, going into 22nd place at the moment. And that'll be the second entry for Jordan today. Okay, we're going to move on to USA's Carly Anthony on the Portfolio Horses LLC entry, Jet Blue. We've seen her on this horse, of course, for a bunch of years. It's a 13-year-old gelding by Zirocco Blue with the Indoctro mother, longtime partner of hers. Nice strong ride there out of the corner. People are kind of just hugging that little lighthouse, and then always seems to be taking that first one out of the corner into the double, but that's working out well for people. Just having the front pole there looked like a similar thing to that happened to Alessandra Volpe. Just looked like she was on the sort of still on the turn a little bit as she jumped that front pole there of the Oxer. Nice turn back here. Real right to left slice. Clears the last, but will have to settle for that 4 faults. 59.82 for Carly Anthony and Jet Blue. So we're making our way down this list. Looking like we've got about 12 left or so to jump. Of course, our leader at the moment, Kathleen Driscoll and Flotilla, 57.72 is that time. 0.05 of a second faster than second place, Richard Vogel and Cidello. Kent Farrington and Mila in third. All right, Jessica Lido is on her second entry of the class, and she's sitting on Mistral. 12-year-old gelding by Bingo Van de Capelle. The Darko mother, owned and ridden by Jessica herself. Steady's up there, up the first line. There you can land, but you can see her land, put her leg back on. A little bit wider to number 3, a little bit far off it, but nice big jump. Ooh. Super careful effort there by the horse to clear that at number 4. You can see she was struggling to fit in the 4, and the horse made a really great jump to get over the vertical. And there you can see gets through the triple. Interesting style. She a little bit sort of stays behind the motion a little bit and then kind of catches up with her release mid-air of the jump. You don't see that style so often. She does have the plank down as well. Here you can see her adding leg to the last, and unfortunately not getting up there quite enough, so has the back pole. So she'll finish up 8 faults, 68.30 for Jessica Lido and Mistral. Okay. Second entry for Jessica Mendoza of the United Kingdom. on her own entry in the air. 11-year-old mare by Air Jordan with the Indoctro mother. It's a Dutch-bred horse. Of course, Air Jordan was a horse that Daniel Deusser won the World Cup finals on. And but Air Jordan died, but there's a clone of Air Jordan, and the clone is breeding a lot, actually. And they tend to breed really sharp and scopy horses, lots of blood, and very beautiful horses from Air Jordan. They all look kind of similar to him, kind of dark beige, a lot of white. That's what he looked like, but he was a beautiful horse himself. Good kind of skip move there by the horse on takeoff. You could see it kind of just skipped as it took off. Ooh, a little bit of a stretch across B, a little bit of a rub at the back pole, but that one stays up. Nice ride there. It's not going to be quite on the pace of our leaders, but nice solid round so far from Jess Mendoza and in the air. One left to jump. Just steadies up a little bit for the last. Beautiful jump. She will finish up on the clear, 65.04 on the clear, but going into 13th place at the moment for Jess Mendoza in the air. So a little bit off that pace, but very nice, smooth round. Okay. Let's see what Brianne Goutal can do on her second entry. Brianne Goutal Marteau in the SNL Farms entry. SNL Marlon van de Heffink. 12-year-old stallion by Desir du Chateau. And the Diabo van de Heffink mother. And I have a very fascinating story about this horse. When the war broke out in between Ukraine and Russia, this horse actually got smuggled out of the Ukraine and into Poland and then made its way to Belgium. So it didn't really do anything for 2 years during this process. So he's a little bit behind for his age. But I know Brianne really loves him and has some really high hopes for him. But kind of an amazing story for this horse. Now he's here in the U.S. competing. Again, he's 12 years old, but a little bit behind. But with a rider like Brianne, he's going to have every chance in the world. Great hind leg underneath him. Really grabs that ground. Beautiful jumper. Jump through that great. Got such a beautiful connection point there from Brianne. You could see she just created a little bit more shape in the horse, put her leg on, but then added even more connection. That was an absolutely beautiful way to shorten the horse, but keep the power up. Does have the plank down, unfortunately. Clears the last, but a little bit slow on the clock as well. 2 down, 8 faults, 5 on the clock. Time 73.15 for Brianne Goutal Marteau and SNL Marlon van de Heffink. So again, just developing that horse up at these higher levels now. But lovely to see. All right, now we're going to move on to Zoe Conter of Belgium and the Stefek Stables entry, Tombola Z. 10-year-old mare by Toulon with the Dominard mother. Let's see what Zoe can do. Again, leading time 57.72, set by Kathleen Driscoll and Flotilla. Just a little bit trailing with that hind end as it jumped the oxer. Good reaction there. Really sits up. Ooh, great kind of popped off the ground there to that vertical. Super athletic move from the horse. Great use of Zoe's eye there. You could see she, even through the trees and the gazebo and everything, you could really see she immediately, as she was jumping that skinny, used her eye and then just maybe had a little bit too much pace. She kind of kept it up around the turn, jumped the oxer well, but just was rolling down there to the triple. And, of course, A coming down like we've seen so many times in this class, just catching so many people out. So many solid, good rounds, and then A of that triple. I'm sure people would like to take that away and never see it again. All right, she'll finish up 4 faults, 61.96 for Zoe Conter and Tombola Zed. All right. So this was our trailblazer from the beginning of the class, Gabriel de Matos Machado from Brazil. But this time he is sitting on the Bay Winds Equestrian LLC, Equine Equity Partners LLC, and Sweet Oak Farm entry, Niles van de Mottelhoeve. Niles? Niles? I don't know. 11-year-old gelding by I Am Morhova Star with the Carbonneau Van de Helm mother. Nice and simple. So he's sitting in 9th on his other horse, Legoland Sandro. Taking a very wide route here to number 3A. Gets pitched a little bit forward and then just not able to recover in time to fit the 4-stride there. The horse looks like he has a little bit of a hard jump, not necessarily the easiest jump to kind of stay with. You can see Gabriel's getting a little bit pitched forward on the landing side, making that recovery a little bit difficult, especially when you got to steady up. Has the front pole there. Okay, you can see the horse kind of jumps a little bit, sort of in 2 pieces sometimes, takes off and then finishes, and that makes it hard to stay with. Looking like he is calling it a day. So I believe he will retire within the round. He has not waved his hand yet, but no, I think there we go. So Gabriel retiring, still sitting in 9th on his other horse, so still up there. All right, now we're going to move on to Elise Oken's second entry of the class on the High Hopes Farm LLC entry, Langley HX. 12-year-old mare by Carambola with the Burggraff mother. Let's see what she does on this horse. As you can see, this horse has a little mesh net over its nose. We haven't seen that, actually. You know, there were a number of horses. Ben Maher's Sella, a famous gray mare that he used to ride, used to have one of these. But it's a little allergy net. It's just a little mesh that hangs off the noseband. Doesn't really touch anything, but it just keeps from particles kind of flying into the nose and bothering the horse. And a lot of horses sometimes that could maybe shake their heads and get a little bit annoyed from dust and things like that going into their nose. You could put one of these on and it just prevents that. So she had the back pole of 3A. Horse just cut down a little bit and just didn't quite push and get across the back. There, just gets a little bit stuck in the corner, jumps across that beautifully. You could see it looked like it was not super easy to turn through there. She has C of the triple. Funny enough, we have not seen that come down very much at all in the class today. A for sure, but we have not seen C so much. Getting a little bit feisty with her there. Looks like maybe she's just having a little bit of some control issues. Maybe not liking kind of the placement. At least just struggling to kind of place the horse where she wants and get the horse to follow around the turns, which of course makes it a little bit difficult to get to the jumps. She will raise her hand and retire within the round, but nice athletic horse, just needs to figure out that connection point a little bit. All right. We're now going to move on to Niall Nasser's second entry of the class. He's on the Evergate Stables entry, Ivory TCS, 11-year-old mare by Falaise de Muse with the Ukado mother. And Falaise de Muse is a stallion out of Belgium from a really famous breeding family, the de Muse stud, which is Joris de Brabander. And the children from Falaise, so this being one of them, are not so old. Hard to say sort of the qualities coming out of Falaise because there's not so many and they're still kind of young, the children. And the dam sire of this horse, Ukado, was actually a stallion that we owned half of. And but I believe this horse, Ivory, and actually I'm pretty sure about it, was a horse that actually came out of the VDL auction here in Wellington, which is coming up this week. And I believe Daniel Coyle used to ride this horse. Ooh, a little bit of a stumble there on the backside. I think this is a slightly newer ride for Niall. It's nice to see horses coming out of that auction here in Wellington, the VDL auction, and developing into Grand Prix horses. I believe this is the horse that actually won maybe the 4-star Grand Prix last year with Daniel. For sure won one big class. Don't remember exactly which one. But that'll be 4 faults for Niall, 63.40 for Ivory TCS. Going into, what did he go into? Let's take a look. 26th place at the moment. All right, now we're going to move on to Lily Keenan and the 10-year-old stallion owned by the Chansonet Farm LLC, Kick On. It's by Warrior with the Caratino Glory mother. And I think I saw on Lily's social media earlier that this was the horse's first international 5-star show, I believe. So I think it's just developing up to this level. Actually, I've not seen this one jump so much. But let's see the stallion go. Looks really scopy. Beautiful jump there. Again, I think Lily just developing this horse up to the high level. Ooh, just didn't quite finish the stride there. Then she moves up to the oxer. Same thing again, we've seen a couple times in that super short 4-stride. Horses just not finishing that last step. And then they can't push off properly, so they're having that vertical down. But again, this is a greener horse at this level. But looks like it's got a lot of potential. Looks really scopy to me. Nice jump there. Really opened up behind beautifully. Lily just keeping it organized, not so much worrying about the time, just thinking about the shape and developing the jump of the horse. Stumbles a little bit on the landing side there, but 4 faults on the course, 1 on the clock, 69.50, so just half second over that time allowed. 5 faults total going into 32nd place for Lily Keenan and Kick On. All right, we've got 5 left to jump in this $62,500 CSI 5-star Bainbridge meter 50 speed. Leader at the moment, still Kathleen Driscoll and Flotilla. 57.72 is that time. Let's see if Canada's Tiffany Foster in her second entry of the class can chase her down. Tiffany's sitting on the Artisan Farms LLC entry, Brighton. 18-year-old gelding. This has been such a wonderful partnership for Tiffany over the years. Has won numerous classes. Can be very fast. One gets a little bit reachy there. This horse so efficient with his stride. Steadies up there so easily. Moves up a little bit for the 6. This horse does a great job of kind of using his speed, and then right on takeoff really slows down so he can jump the jumps. A little bit of a rub at A, but luckily that one stays up. Nicely done there. She went out a little bit, so she was already turning back. She did that beautifully. Maybe one of the best in the class, actually. Everyone else getting a little bit pitched towards the in-gate. She's on it. I don't think she's going to catch, but she's long to the last, gets it, and nope. Oh, she had the 4 faults anyway. 57.95 on the 4 faults. So into 17th place for Tiffany Foster and Brighton. So, super round, but with the 1 down for Tiff. All right, now we're going to move on to Kristen Vanderveen's second entry of the class. She's sitting on the Bull Run Jumpers Incorporated entry. Bull Run's Jira, 10-year-old Holsteiner gelding by Eureka with the Coleman mother. And let's see. Again, we all know Kristen Vanderveen can be super speedy when she wants to be. But let's see if she's setting up Jira for tomorrow night and just going to take her time. She doesn't look like she's off to the races quite yet. Yeah, she looks like she's just taking her time, setting this one up. Steadies up for the 4. Horse also, similarly to many of the others, sort of didn't quite finish the stride, but was able to kind of skip off the 3 legs to jump that vertical. So cleared it, no problem. Yeah, she's just going out wide, taking her time, not worrying about the time at all. This is always such an interesting class on these Fridays because some people using it as a qualifier, if they're not already qualified, some using it as a setup with their Grand Prix horses, some developing younger horses. So you get a real mixed bag in this class. But we've seen some very speedy rounds, of course, from our few at the top of the leaderboard. And there she's really taking her time. She'll, of course, pick up a number of time faults. Just keeping it organized. Does have the plank down, maybe just got a little bit close to that. Gets over the last, but we'll pick up 14 on the clock, 8 jumping, 82.96 is the time for Kristen Vanderveen and Bull Run's Jira. All right, looks like 3 left to jump. And let's see what we've got. Again, our leader, Flotilla and Kathleen Driscoll, 57.72 with the 3 left to jump. Let's see if one of those can try to catch that time. And we're taking a look at Adrian Sternlicht and Benny's Legacy, her longtime partner on the 16-year-old gelding owned by the Starlight Farms 1 LLC. So horse by Lupicore with the Voltaire mother. Of course, wonderful partnership over the years between Adrian and Benny's Legacy. Before Adrian had the horse, it was a ride of Andrew Bourne's. But Benny's got lots of personality. But absolutely a super jumper. Steadies up nice there in the 4. Beautifully just soft there as she moved up in the 6. Again, I think not necessarily trying to really go for the win today, just trying to stay nice and steady. Beautiful jump there. Oh, jumped that great. Keeps moving to the Lugano. Clears the skinny, 1 left to go. She's not quite on the time, but this is a beautiful round there for Adrian and Benny's Legacy. Clear 62.75 and 9th place at the moment on the beautiful clear for Adrian and Benny. So that was a lovely round. Again, I don't think she was really chasing that leaderboard, but What a super round. She should be nice and happy with that. Okay. First of our remaining two, Emily Conter on her second entry, Onslow de Roju. 10-year-old gelding owned by the Stefex stables by Diamant with the Andiamo mother. It's a Belgian-bred horse. And let's see if the Belgian rider can catch our leader, 57.72, with Flotilla and Kathleen Driscoll. Nice shot in there. Steadies up. Oh, just not able to steady enough and has that vertical down. Amazingly, actually, on that super short four stride, we haven't seen that many times that vertical come down. Sure, it has come down a couple of times, but not as much as I would have expected because of the difficult, complicated distance that it was set at. Big jump there. It's funny, this horse sort of jerks its legs up, doesn't use its body so much over the jumps. Just got there a little bit deep and a little bit dead. Pushing the front rail out of the way. Not enough space there as she took off. Two left to jump. And very long at the last there. I was thinking maybe she was going to do 8, and then kind of at the last minute, I think she opted for the 7. So she will pick up 3 down, 12 faults, 1 on the clock as well. 13 total, 69.54. So just about a half second over that time allowed for the 1 time fault as well. All right, and this is going to be our last entry of the class, Laura Kraut's second entry. And of course, she is sitting in 4th on Calgary Tame. Let's see if she can improve upon that with Picobello VH Panisoff, the BVB de Hayes entry of the 9-year-old Belgian-bred gelding by Vigo Darsui with the Polydoctus mother. This horse, big gallop, very different than the other horse she was sitting on earlier. It's a much bigger horse, much bigger gallop. But this certainly looks like a scopy horse. Looks a little bit similar actually to his father, Vigo Darsui, which of course was the horse that Philippe Lejeune won the World Championships in Lexington, Kentucky back in 2010 on. So after he won that, of course, he bred a ton. Just having the back pole of B there. Jumped A really well and then just was a little bit kind of dead at B, not able to get across that back pole. So that means that Kathleen Driscoll will be our winner today with a super round that she put in. Laura just taking her time here. Again, this is just a 9-year-old gelding, just developing up to this level. I think it's going to be a really scopy horse for the future. So, taking our time. 67.40 is the time. 12 faults total for Laura Kraut and Picobello. So, that means that our winner is going to be Kathleen Driscoll and Flotilla. 57.72, 0.05 of a second faster than our second place finisher, Cidello and Richard Vogel. And of course, Kent Farrington in 3rd with Mila. Calgary Tame and Laura Kraut in 4th. Rodrigo Pessoa and Dalida in 5th. And Jessica Springsteen rounding out the top 6 with Naomi Van Het Kaisershoff. So, very fun class today. Of course, we were here for the $62,500 CSI 5-star Bainbridge meter 50. Thanks again, of course, to today's class sponsor. That would be Bainbridge. We are Bainbridge. We manage, develop, and invest in apartment communities that are complete experiences where people are free to pursue better lives. From New York to Miami and beyond, we create places where residents feel equally at home and inspired. Bainbridge Companies, LLC. Of course, presenting our live stream all season long here at Wellington International is Dodd Technologies. Dodd Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit us online at doddtechnologies.com. Today's live stream is also presented in part with the support of the U.S. Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. And of course, thanks to this week's title sponsor, Lugano Diamonds. And we're looking forward to tomorrow night's 5-star Lugano Diamonds Grand Prix coming up under the lights. We had our qualifier in the WEF Challenge Cup yesterday. 10 more will qualify from today's class that we just saw in the meter 50 speed. Our prize giving ceremony will be coming up in just a couple of minutes. We saw 60 horses contest this class today. Very exciting win for Kathleen Driscoll. And she will be coming in shortly for our prize giving. And it's getting a little cloudy out there, still a little chillier. It was actually kind of nicer this morning. It said it was going to be a beautiful day, but the weatherman lied. It's a little cloudy and windy now. There's our third place finisher, which I think should be Ken Farrington, but looking like Tiffany may be receiving that award for him. Or maybe it was Tiffany who was in third. We'll see. I did not think she had one down, but they scored it as 4 faults. So let's see. I think maybe Tiffany was third. Well, our scoring looking a little inaccurate, but you know what? That's technology these days. And second place, Richie Vogel coming in on Cidello. There's Tiffany walking up for her award. Third place. Time for Tiffany was pretty quick. Don't actually know what it was. Not on our scoreboard. But, all right. It has been a wonderful class here today. Richie Vogel taking second. And, of course, our winner, Kathleen Driscoll, 57.72, and Flotilla. There she is with the cooler. Congratulations to all of our winners. Thanks again to our sponsors today. I'm Danny Waldman. This has been a presentation of Wellington International. And I'll be back with you guys tomorrow night on the sidelines reporting. And we'll also take a look at the Grand Prix show starting around 6 o'clock tomorrow before the Grand Prix. So make sure to tune in to the live stream for that. And of course, I'll be back with you guys on Sunday for the Meter 50 Classic. But thanks, everyone. I'm Danny Waldman, and congratulations to our winners in today's $62,500 CSI 5-star Bainbridge Meter 50 Speed. We'll see you next time, everyone. Have a good day.
Kathleen Driscoll with the best effort aboard Flotilla. Another win for her this season, and the fastest time 57.720. And of course, she has earned the right to lead the way here in a round of honor for our Bainbridge Company's Meter 50 Classic here on Friday morning. Followed up by Richard Vogel and Sidello. And of course, it was Kent Farrington and Mila that earned the third prize. Tiffany Foster representing here in the awards. So there they are, your top three for Meter 50 Classic presentation. While Kathleen wraps up her victory ride there with Flotilla, the Don Stewart entry finishing up in the win. Richard Vogel and Sidello against second, and it was Kent Farrington and Mila in third place. We also congratulate fourth place finishers Laura Kraut and Calgary Tame, with fifth going to Rodrigo Pessoa and Dalida. The sixth award to Jessica Springsteen aboard Naomi Venet Kizersoff, and then Ben Meyer and Faltic HB will finish in seventh. Another Kathleen Driscoll entry, Casaletto will be eighth. Adrian Sternlicht's Benny's Legacy finishing in ninth place, with Gabriel De Matos Bechado and Legoland Sandro in 10th. Coco Faith and Harley D 11th, and Renee Dittmer and Burlington Riverland finishing in 12th place. We've got our two-star Grand Prix qualifier coming up next. That one brought to us by Ethel M. Chocolates. More on that sponsor coming up while the adjustment continues.